talk. Oh my goodness, what exciting news tonight! I wake up. They have a suspect in custody that they've detained and handcuffed in the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping. I go and take a shower. I get out of the shower. I get dressed, and boom, they released him. And the guy's at his house holding a press conference. When that SWAT team went out yesterday, late in the day, we assumed they had somebody in mind. Was it this? I'll tell you, with the suspect they let go and the lady from his house that they interviewed, was that his aunt? They were out there quick, weren't they? Holding press conferences. I don't know. Dark MAGA mode engaged. My name's Brian, by the way. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Welcome. I don't know if I've ever seen people come out that quick. I mean, this guy, the aunt came out like right away. She's talking to the press. He's got the whole defense lined up. The suspect they detained, and it's been reported he was handcuffed. And I'll play his press conference in front of his house that he had when the show starts. He just didn't seem traumatized as much as I think most people would be in an instance like that. Neither of them had ever heard of the Guthrie kidnapping. Never heard of Nancy Guthrie. Didn't know anything about the kidnapping, which is hard to believe, even though they live in a complete Spanish-speaking world. In that town, how could they not have heard of this kidnapping? You would think it's taking the whole community by storm, and they're just so quick and defiant. Both the aunt and the suspect that they released, and totally, really, I thought both of them were overly calm. What did you guys think? So what are police looking at, and the feds? Now with everything that's come out with the video and the still images yesterday and this, do you, yes or no, do you think are you leaning towards an illegal? Yes or no? An illegal? Yes or no? No would indicate the family, the brother-in-law, right? So yes means you're leaning towards a generic illegal. No would mean you're leaning towards the brother-in-law. The authorities, they seem to be looking at illegals. They stopped this guy pretty hardcore. Do you I just couldn't believe how quick he was to have a press conference, and the aunt too. And obviously they released him. But releasing the guy, does that mean that he's still not a person of interest? Right? And I thought it was strange. He delivers packages. I guess he's a door dasher and kind of does those things. But he fits a profile because the aunt in the News Nation interview said that he had just gotten evicted from his place, and he was staying with her, waiting for their income tax return so they could get their own apartment. So that fits a profile right there with, financial issues, doesn't it? Yeah. So there's a lot happening here, but I just thought the guy and his aunt were both too cool to coast. I just, I've seen a lot of people over the years who are in similar situations, and they just didn't seem shook up. I think I would be very shook up. A high-profile case like this, and my family would be freaked out too, I would imagine. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk. And Obviously, this is going to be my lead story on the main stream this morning, so make sure you check that out and don't miss it. But it is most definitely was an exciting night. I couldn't believe when I woke up. I'm like, oh wow, they got a suspect. I jump in the shower. I take quick showers in the morning. Get out of the shower, turn on the news, and boom, they release the guy. And next thing I know, he's got a press conference in front of his house. And then at the end of his impromptu, dark bag of mode engaged again. At the end of his press conference, someone inside the house, I guess his wife or whatever, in Spanish was talking to him. And she said something to him in Spanish, and then he's like, that's it, I'm done. Like he decided he had said enough. But they had asked him if he had ever delivered packages to Nancy Guthrie's home, and he says, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. So, I mean, with such a high-profile case in the community, one, how could both of them not have heard of it? And how could he not know if he had delivered to that house? I'd remember it. In such a high-profile case. So I think the guy and his auntie there were acting odd. Do you guys agree with that? That they were acting odd, too cool to coast, too quick to have press conferences, too quick to talk to the media. It just seemed, or was that his mother? I can't remember. I'm going to play the interviews on the show. I can't remember. Was that his mother or his aunt? I can't remember. Well, regardless, I just thought they were too quick and too calm, cool, and collected. That's just me. I mean, you know, or maybe they're used to dealing with the law. I don't know. And it's no big deal to them. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts on all of this on the program this morning. On the next stream, I'll be in the studio taking your calls, okay? And I'll play both. I'll play the interview with the lady and the press conference with the suspect they detained, and like a mom-in-law, mother-in-law. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I would say that it's leaning towards an illegal. And I'll tell you, when this story first happened, when it first was in the news, the first moment it was in the news, my wife told me it's an illegal. It's an illegal, she said. That was my wife's first reaction was it was an illegal. All right, guys, I gotta get into the studio, finish up my show prep, and I will be live on the next stream in the studio taking your calls. My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, and it'll be so far as the entire Nancy Guthrie case, it'll be open phones so far as that goes. So any aspect of this case that you want to call in about, you're welcome to. I do have a lot of other stories I'm going to cover, but this is going to be my lead story. All right, guys, I'll see you shortly. Take care.